What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for some on-off location filming. Yes, you can see I'm not in my usual background here. We have a unique background, to say the least, to discuss Game 72 versus the Minnesota Wild in Minnesota, which is where I currently am right now. Got to see the Minnesota game yesterday. Good experience, crosses another stadium off my list. My goal to get to all 32. I've been to the United Center, Madison Square Garden back in 2019, and now XL Energy Center here in 2023. It was a 4 o'clock game, March 25th. The score ends up being 3-1 Minnesota. They go to 24, Hawks go to 24, 42, and 6. Shots were 25-23 Minnesota, hits 27-25 Chicago. Faceoffs 30-20 Minnesota. The power play, Chicago goes 0 for 2, Minnesota goes 0 for 1. Stalock saves 22 out of 24, Gustavsson saves 22 out of 23. I wore my white Fleury Vegas jersey, and of course he doesn't play. I'm now 0 for 2 in times I've seen him in person. Probably was the last one too. Kurashev was out for the Hawks, Reese Johnson was in, Kurashev injured in the last game. We start with the first period, where I actually haven't watched back the game yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow after I return home. Also do the Vancouver BFR, so I might be watching 2 games tomorrow. So that'll be fun. So in the first, both teams sloppy, missing passes both ways. The Wild are making the Hawks look like an actual competent team. Tenorti was hurt with a minute 30 to go after a hit from behind. I couldn't tell if it was from Reeves at that point. I was on the opposite side of the rink. I was on the second level, so it was kind of harder to see. He would return to the game, but I wasn't a fan of the entire crowd going nuts after Tenorti left the locker room. But what are you going to do? 15-14 Chicago penalty to Reichel for tripping, which would be killed. 12-15 then. It's a Minnesota deflection goal, and this was an awful goal. And it goes off Stalock's pad and then off one of the Black Hawk defensemen's skates. I couldn't tell if it was Murphy or Kaiser. It's Ryan Reeves gets credit with the goal. 5th of the season, unassisted, to make it 1-0, which would showcase another storyline in this game. We go to the third, where at 18:45, it's a Chicago snipe, 2-on-1 goal. Lucas Reichel with his 4th of the season, unassisted, 1-1. I got up and cheered. And there were not many people that were very happy with me as I got up and cheered right there next to them. Some comments were thrown my way, and all you gotta do is just shake the hand to show how many cups they've won in my lifetime and how Minnesota's got into the conference final once in 23 years, and that happened in their 3rd year. Crowd is very much disagreeing with the officials in this game as well. 13:47, there'd be a Minnesota penalty to Eriksson Ek for holding, which would be killed. I actually thought the penalty was going to be on Boldy for tripping, and then they just did a 180, and even the crowd was like going nuts because they thought it also was going to be on Boldy for tripping. But then Eriksson Ek gets the call for holding, and everyone's like, well, no one even saw that, so what's happened? I'm like, then they didn't even show the replay, so I couldn't even check it, but we'll see. It was starting to get scrummy because at 10:51, this was whack. It's a Minnesota penalty to Foligno for cross-checking, and I think, okay, that's a good call. The crowd's going nuts. And Foligno cross-checks Murphy in the chest. He then, when he's down, cross-checks him in the back onto the ice, and then cross-checks him again, lays him out flat on the ice. And they give Murphy 2 minutes as well for embellishment. I don't know how you call that embellishment. I really don't. He had no chance to protect himself. It was from behind. He had already been, touched Foligno. They showed Foligno on the board, Jumbotron, touching Murphy's chin. That was weird enough. The crowd loved that for whatever reason, but, what can you do? So it's 4-on-4, and the crowd doesn't agree somehow. I didn't agree either, but I thought it should have been a Hawks power play, but I don't know what the hell that was going on there. 9:01, it's a Minnesota penalty to Boldy then for tripping I don't know what this was either. It's 4-on-3 for 10 seconds and be 5-on-4 for a minute 50. And the crowd's livid for this Boldy penalty now because I wouldn't call it tripping, but he kind of just took Athanasiou and then threw him on the ice. And the crowd's like, that's not tripping. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It's not tripping, but I don't know what you call that, but that's a penalty in some way, shape, or form. So Minnesota kills off the 4-on-3 for 10 seconds, and then it's a 5-on-4 for a minute 50 Hawks power play. They could not convert on the power play this game. And then a 1:11 to go. I was convinced it's going to overtime. Like, I got what I wanted. I wanted one goal, and I got a loss. but I wanted a loss in regulation because I don't want any points, and it looks like they're going to overtime. As me and my dad are discussing this, the Hawks are about to enter the wild zone. Murphy gets the puck back. Apparently he did not know Ryan Hartman was right behind him on the other side. Hartman takes the puck. Murphy tries to dive and stop it, but it's a breakaway for Ryan Hartman. It goes around Stalock, puts it slides it right past him, not top shelf. And it's a breakaway goal for Ryan Hartman, the former Blackhawks, 13th of the season, unassisted. That would be his 13th of the season. And that's 3 unassisted goals. And I thought really we were going to have a fully unassisted game because that's 3 goals. You have Reeves' goal, Reichel's goal, and Hartman's goal. No assist on any of them. With 31 seconds to go, the Hawks pulled the goalie around 50 seconds. It's a Minnesota empty net goal. Freddie Gaudreau, 14th of the season, I think. Yep, from Spurgeon. That makes it 3-1. Spurgeon with the only assist in this game. And that'll be it. It was a great experience either way. To the fan I was sitting next to, I had some choice words. Did not like when I was cussing out Foligno, but to be fair, he cussed out everyone on our team, and I'm surprised he'd even name them. To be fair, I wouldn't know who's on the Hawks team either. But that's going to be all I have for you guys today. It was a great experience overall. Would come back, hopefully when the Hawks are better, and hopefully now that we're closer to Bedard. San Jose now at the best odds. Columbus getting the big win yesterday over the Islanders, but then getting killed today by Montreal. That was devastating. I really was hoping Columbus could come out with 2 points there. But now it's a less of a hill to climb, but time is running out in the season, and I'd like to get that number 1 pick. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.